Welcome to the Pipeline Podcast. Tonight we got a chill episode for you. We're going over some Chinese espionage. We've gone over a couple examples of this kind of thing before, like people allegedly bringing in biohazards from China. We've got another Chinese espionage agent sending ammunition to North Korea. We've covered stuff like this before, so it's a great story for us to take a quick short dive into. We're going to look at it and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go over it. Let's check it out. If you're not familiar with what we're doing here, this is the Pipeline Podcast. We cover current events and conspiracies. So this Chinese spy got convicted 3 days ago. So we're going to be going over that. The title here, U.S. Navy sailor convicted of spying for China. And yeah, it is true. He is a U.S. Navy sailor. But we go down here. He's a naturalized citizen, but he's like Chinese. Anyway, that's fun. He is a Chinese spy. He's also a U.S. Navy spy that sells shit to China. It's important for everyone to have a little bit of background information because this article is only going to go over the conviction and it kind of lays out the case. But I think it's important for us all to see, this was 2 years ago, like when he actually got arrested, when he got caught. This is kind of what was in the news when that happened. So let's check it out. It gives a little bit more backstory about this guy, Jin Chao Wei.
Tonight, federal investigators charging 2 U.S. Navy sailors with a shocking betrayal, stealing defense secrets and selling them to China.
When a soldier or sailor chooses cash over...
So yeah, it was 2 of them that were arrested. One of the other guys already got convicted. It was for like 2.5 years or something. This is the other guy.
...over country and hands over national defense information in an ultimate act of betrayal, we have to be ready to act.
In both cases, the sailors were allegedly approached by Chinese spies and offered thousands of dollars in exchange for delivering classified details about naval operations. It's unclear if the cases are connected. The most serious charge of espionage leveled against 22-year-old sailor Jin Chao Wei. Also,
all right, that's enough background information. So I do want to go back to part of this video and kind of turn this into a PSA, spread some awareness. So this is how they got lured into like selling secrets, to selling like military secrets. So they got approached, and it says they were approached by Chinese spies, but at the time, these people that are convicted of espionage did not know that. So it says that in the article here, he originally thought he was selling the secrets to just someone in China that worked at like a shipyard. So he was approached on social media by this Chinese spy, and he got paid over 18 months $12,000, so it really wasn't a lot of money. And he was selling information on U.S. Navy ships, the USS Essex, and other Navy vessels. He was having more than just social media messages with his Chinese handler. He was having phone calls, messages, and voice messages. And he called his contact Big Brother Andy, which is such a funny name. And he kept their relationship secret by using encrypted apps. Then we have a screenshot from the Justice Department about the messages that this Chinese spy was having with the handler, which is Chinese intelligence officer that approached him. So here's a message between the two. Chinese intelligence officer, you are doing quite well. You are able to write something and make money with it. Good job. And then our Chinese spy, Wei, says other Chinese serving in the U.S. Navy are still trying to figure out how to make extra money in driving cabs, whereas I am just leaking secrets. So he's like, wow, like every Chinese naturalized citizen in the military, the U.S. military, should do this. And like, it's so easy. And then we go back up to here and it's like, bro, he got paid $12,000 over 18 months. So let's pull out the calculator. We go and check it out. 12,000. That is about $666 a month. It's like about what he was averaging for committing espionage, which like, you ask me to commit espionage, you're going to pay me a lot more money than that. $600 a month? Are you kidding me? And then they say like, he was found guilty. He hasn't been sentenced yet. That's going to be on December 1st, but it could be life in prison. $12,000 is not worth the risk to go to prison for life. There was another Chinese spy that was also arrested. He got paid $14,800, so he got paid a little bit more money. And then that guy that got paid more money only got 27 months. So this guy probably won't get life in prison. He'll probably get a similar sentence to the other guy. That's basically the full scoop on the story. This is how you get fished for information. So look at this. This is the news like story when they get arrested, right? It says sailors approached by Chinese spies. But then in the article, it says here he was recruited via social media by the Chinese intelligence officer who at first portrayed themselves as a naval enthusiast who worked for the state-owned China's shipbuilding industry corporation. So at first, our Chinese spy didn't even know he was being recruited by China, which is very interesting. But when did he find out? At what point did he find out? Did he ever find out? Like, basically what I'm trying to say is it proven that he was selling these secrets to the Chinese government, or was he just selling them to Chinese companies? Because that's a big difference, right? If you want to get him on an espionage charge. I do understand that it's like a military vessel, and there are like top secrets, classified information and technology in these vessels that like can't be shared with anyone. But it does make a difference to me. Like, was this guy selling secrets to a corporation or a government? I would like to know the answer to that. But anyway, this is why it's important. If you're in the Navy and you ever get a message from someone that says they work as like a shipbuilder, and they're saying, hey, you got any tips? You got any pics you can send me to like help me out? I'll pay you for like good technology stuff. Like I'm just running a company here. Just want to make the company work better. If you ever get approached by someone saying that kind of stuff, you could be charged with espionage if you give them like classified information. And that's kind of how people get dragged into these sort of things. It's not like this guy joined the Navy thinking, oh, I'm going to be a spy for China. It's just that he ended up being in the Navy. He kind of saw the opportunity, took it for some extra dollars. I wonder to what extent he realized he was actually selling secrets to the Chinese government, if that's even a thing. If he even actually did that, I'm wondering, has he done that? Or was it just a shipbuilding corporation? But, you know, since it's a Chinese company, it's owned by China, so it's basically the government. Like, is that the argument here? Is that why he was charged with espionage? Or was he actually selling it to, like, a Chinese intelligence officer or something? Either way, the reason we went over this video is just because it is another example of Chinese spies. We've been covering this on the channel. It's like a real thing. Like, there are, like, people that get convicted for this kind of stuff all the time. He got caught with another Chinese spy. They both got caught together. There was two of them. And if you want more examples of this stuff happening, I'm not saying everyone that's Chinese is a spy, obviously not. But what I'm trying to say is it does happen, and we're very curious about that kind of stuff on the channel. It's very well known that China steals intellectual property, like brands and stuff, like copyright laws kind of suck and like aren't enforced in China. If a shipbuilding company could get their hands on some of this intelligence and like schematics and stuff on like a ship like this, they will absolutely use that to like build a ship and sell it. And you know, they're a Chinese company, so it's going to go to the Chinese military, Chinese government. They're probably going to like get contracted to like make a ship if they steal like information on how to make one of these classified intel, like secrets, Navy secrets. So I hope that all makes sense. Basically, another Chinese spy. And he was caught with another guy. The other guy got sentenced earlier this year. But anyway, we're just going over it because it is a good example of some more Chinese espionage, which we love to cover on the channel. We're not trying to single out China, but it is kind of a thing that, like, if you want to talk about our potentially worst enemy, and like it could be China if China like was our enemy, the United States enemy. China is like the world's like next major superpower. And for whatever reason, there are a lot of examples of them stealing stuff or having weapons sent out of the country. We have them trying to bring in biohazards into our country. It's just like super weird shit. And there's so many examples. And so this won't be the last. And this isn't the first example of a Chinese spy that we've covered on the channel. So if you like that kind of stuff, check it out. So if you're like wondering kind of why we chose this story to cover today, it's because it is a current event. It just happened 3 days ago. The guy got sentenced and it's a conspiracy. So, you know, is the Chinese government really paying people in the U.S. Navy that are like Chinese descendants to like give them information? The answer is yes, like they actually are. Conspiracy and current event. That's why we covered it. You like that kind of stuff, subscribe and check out our other videos and have a good night.